Hey everybody, so I just wanted to go over a completely autonomous session that I started when I was at Target just now. So I use VNC to operate my machine remotely from my phone, and I'll show you guys how I do that in another video. But basically, all I did, let's see if I can find the original prompt here. Okay, so all I did was it's all the way up here. So this is all of the automated testing through the MCP. Okay, here we go. So I did about 3 prompts. Here you can see. Basically, I just came home and it was finishing up. So it was over an hour. Let's see here. Okay, so this is all the same session. Okay, here it is. So here I cleared it, and with my bad typing, investigate the vibe grid group feature, not rendering groups or showing any group state after group selection in the dropdown. Okay, so this button here wasn't working at all, and now it's working, and it shows groups. So, and it even has, let's see, yes, nested groups that you can drag. So this is like better than ClickUp with multiple groups and nested groups. And I had developed this a while back before I did a whole refactor, multiple refactors, because this data grid is an extremely complicated custom data grid that I built from scratch, that I vibe coded. And it uses its own custom down rendering. It does not use React. So it is very complicated. But, so usually I have to kind of hand and manually debug and do stuff. Sometimes it can be really frustrating. Like last night I had a really frustrating bug that took a while. But today when I was out, I just gave it a shot to try to fix the group feature. And it just went and went. So it found the issues. And so first it didn't test. It just started fixing stuff. And then it started to use the Playwright testing subagent that I have. So the subagent sometimes does a really good job, sometimes it doesn't. So what the subagent really does, it saves 100,000 tokens from having to be in your main flow. So sometimes though, it doesn't test things very well. It takes forever, but when you're out and about, it's great because it just goes, and it tries to start new servers, which is not necessary at all, but then it goes again and for another 100,000 tokens and tests it. And here you can see that it found some more issues, testing it again, more issues. So it keeps going, and then we get to a spot where it has to compact, and so it gets there. It takes a lot. It has a lot more back and forth before you have to compact when you use the subagent for testing. And then it goes and goes and goes, and then oops, it forgets the agent. So this is what happens sometimes during the compact cycle. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out an issue with this. I mean, a way to fix this. You can use a hook to have certain reminders or run certain code or something like that during the compact phase. But anyway, it still keeps going, and it has issues with. This is one of the big things. It has issues with the browser console being too large. This is something I would like to see fixed in the Playwright MCP, where they have a way to either filter or clear the console or do something. But actually, this is what I have a feature that I implemented that helps with this. And we go and go and go. This is great. And we have, let's see, keeps going. And so another compact, right? Too many console messages. And this is where I jumped in because I was finding out, I was walking around and I just checked my phone and I saw this and I said, the button doesn't work at all. and use the logging filter commands, because I was testing it from my phone and I couldn't activate this button at all. So we actually have in this app, I've developed a custom logger control. So once I say that, then it knows, because it's in the Claude MD file, it knows how to do that. So logging configured, it executes JavaScript directly in the console, and so that helped it out a lot, because then it starts working again. Boom, boom, boom. Some debugging, goes back into the MCP. Still not getting the drop down. So through all this, we're still not getting the drop down, and then it gives up. So this is something that happens a lot of the time with Claude, is that it fixes some stuff and then doesn't actually succeed. See here, it says success false. And it just says, you know what? I've done enough. This is one of the most annoying things, because basically I often get mad at the AI and say it's such a lie. It can't even open the drop down. How can we tell it works? Right? Because it's saying that it works. The core functionality should now be working. Well, how can I tell if there's no drop down? So I yell at the AI, and then this last round, it actually gets there. So it figures out it's a UI drop down issue. Aha. So the button shows. Let's see. Anyway, so it gets through everything. Right? The disconnect is clear. Interaction state logs, group config menu opened. Radix UI drop-down menu. The ARIA expanded false. So it figures out it has something to do with the state management, and finally we see that it works. Right? The is open true has group config false, column count 19. The drop-down menu is open. Available grouping, and then another compact. Hey, it suddenly realizes that it has the agent again, and it starts using the subagent. So back to the subagent, and now we're cooking with gas, and it starts to get better. It's working correctly, and here we go. I have successfully completed the investigation and resolution. Interesting. It said that it did not actually test it, but actually, oh wait, maybe it did. Okay, the testing confirmed that the vibe grid grouping functionality is actually working correctly. The group processor creates groups properly, and the renderer handles them. The user's original concern about not rendering groups was actually a misunderstanding. Well, no, because you did a bunch of stuff, but that's okay. You forgot, or you got confused after your compact. But here we are. It's working good. So that was 100% vibe coding on the road. Of course, it's not like a new feature, but it's debugging a pretty complicated one after a bunch of refactors. So I just wanted to show you guys that process. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.